Ukraine says it is willing to accept an immediate 30-day ceasefire in the war with Russia. In exchange, the US has agreed to immediately restore intelligence sharing and military aid. Ukrainian and US officials have been meeting in Saudi Arabia discussing the future of the three-year conflict. The US proposed a comprehensive ceasefire extending beyond air and sea security to the entire front line. The plan will now be taken to the Russians for approval. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has welcomed the development.
Ukraine accepts this proposal. We consider it positive. We are ready to take such a step, and the United States of America must convince Russia to do the same. That is, we agree, and if the Russians agree, silence will take effect at that very moment.
Relations between the US and Ukraine had soured after the infamous row in the Oval Office between the two presidents. After the ceasefire deal was approved, Donald Trump was asked if the Ukrainian president would be invited back into the White House and said yes.
We want to get that war over with. So I think it's a big difference between the last visit you saw at the Oval Office and this. So that's a total ceasefire. Ukraine has agreed to it. And hopefully Russia will agree to it. We're going to meet with them later on today and tomorrow.
And our hope is that the Russians will say yes, that they will also agree. So the shooting will stop, the killing will stop, the dying will stop, and the talks can begin about how to end this war permanently in a way that's acceptable and enduring for both sides.
While US and Ukrainian officials met in Saudi Arabia, military chiefs from more than 30 EU and NATO countries gathered in Paris to discuss security guarantees for Ukraine if a lasting peace deal eventuates. Australian Defence official Air Vice Marshal Di Turton was at the talks, hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. Far from the peace talks, rescuers in Ukraine's Donetsk region worked through the night after Russian strikes targeted the city of Kramatorsk. Ukrainian authorities also reported another Russian strike on the city of Odessa. Meanwhile, Russia said Ukraine launched a massive drone attack on Moscow, killing one person just hours before the Saudi negotiations.